Use the seats or lose the seats is the warning from St Johnstone executive Frank Smith as he claims more St Johnstone fans must attend the Old Firm matches or else the club will be forced to give Celtic and Rangers an extra stand instead. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and it looks like St Johnstone could be getting more Celtic and Rangers fans inside McDiarmid Park. That is, unless, of course, St Johnstone fans start turning up. They start getting higher home attendances against these clubs. And the reason, apparently, being is because some of the supporters don't like the environment when St Johnstone are taking on Rangers or when St Johnstone are taking on Celtic. Now, I mean, you could maybe possibly see why that is the case. However, I would argue that if you're a St Johnstone fan and you're taking on Celtic or you're taking on Rangers, it's the two biggest teams to ever be in Scotland. It's the two best teams in Scotland. You're getting to see quality players on show. Yes, you could argue 9 times out of 10 you're going to lose, but you're just getting to see your team play against better quality teams, and you're getting to see your team play against better quality players and just a better quality game of football. So therefore, I would argue that should be the game that you're most interested in. You'd think if you were a St Johnstone fan, the matches that you'd be looking forward to the most would be the ones where the Old Firm come to town. But that doesn't seem to be the case. St Johnstone fans are tending to actually not show up for these games because of the away support. They're not a fan of the Celtic fans, the Rangers fans, which I think's pretty strange. I mean, I get it. We've heard people say it's not very family friendly, and I understand that. But from a footballing standpoint, I would have to imagine, as a St Johnstone fan, that playing Celtic or Rangers at home is more appealing than playing a Dundee at home. And I'm not singling out Dundee. I'm just saying that Dundee, at the moment, they're like a yo-yo club in the midfield, let's say, okay? They're like a not really going to the top, but not really going to the bottom. Now, the reason I'm not using the Ross County is because at least you could argue maybe St Johnstone versus Ross County. You could see that as a relegation scrap, as a relegation battle, and that might add some added interest. That might give you a little bit more extra incentive going into the game. So I could possibly see why you'd be looking more forward to that. But if I'm a St Johnstone fan, would I rather go to McDiarmid Park and watch St Johnstone versus Dundee, or would I rather go to McDiarmid Park and watch St Johnstone versus Rangers or Celtic? You know, it's just like Celtic fans would rather be in the Champions League than be in the Europa League. And yeah, I get it, you're more likely to win in the Europa League, but you're up against the better quality teams and you want to test yourself against the best. So the Champions League's more appealing, and I think it's a bit similar to the domestic league. I mean, in England, I'm pretty sure if you're a fan of a relegation threatened club or whatever, you want to get you want to get the big teams. You want to get the top teams. The top teams are a more exciting game. In the FA Cup, I know that the clubs are always looking to play a top team from a financial aspect, but even as a fan, it's like, if you're a smaller club, then you kind of want to test yourself against the better clubs. You want that big game. So yeah, I think it is surprising, but according to Chief Executive Frank Smith, unless things change, then St Johnstone, due to financial reasons, will be forced to give Celtic and Rangers a full stand, an extra full stand, because they need to generate more away tickets unless the home fans turn up. So this is what he said in regards to the money that they could be making. He said, quote, "That could bring in an extra revenue of around 300,000 per year. If you put that into playing terms, it's about 3 players for the club. It is possible, but we still have a couple of games this season for the supporters to come out and support St Johnstone and show us that they can come out for those games, which negates the need for us to do that. It's up to the fans. It is important to me that our fans have their voice, so we will continue to engage with the fans before we make any final decisions." End of quote. So he's coming out and saying that there's still a couple of games left this season at home against Celtic, against Rangers, and if the home fans can turn up, then that might prevent the club from needing to go down that route of giving both Celtic and Rangers an extra stand. But if they don't, then they're going to have to look at it, and that possibly giving them an extra stand could generate an extra 300,000 per year. And Smith said that that would equate to about 3 players for St Johnston. So look, I get it. You're at home. It's not ideal. I'm not a big fan of these teams that give out free stands to the Old Firm. I think it does come across as tin pot. You need every advantage you can get when you're taking on those teams, and I don't think that having your stadium be like 70%, 80% full, whatever, of away fans, that's not going to help you at home get a result. But at the same time, the extra money that you're generating can help you as a club. It can help you bring in extra players, and therefore that can improve you as a team and keep you in the top flight. So, I mean, look, there's positives and there's negatives of this. It just depends on how you look at it. But the new American owners of St Johnstone have also been exploring the potential of selling alcohol within the grounds of McDermott Park. The club have been holding talks with both the Scottish Government and the Scottish FA. However, so far they have been unsuccessful in their quest. They have not given up hope that they can find some common ground to help them achieve their goal, though. And I'm not sure how that would work. Would that mean only the home fans can have alcohol? Would there be no alcohol available for the travelling away fans? Or would both sets of fans be allowed alcohol? And I mean, I know some people complain a lot, and they say, you know, football fans are treated like kids. You look at rugby fans and they get to drink alcohol, and, you know, they get to go to the games, have a beer or two and have fun, and they're trusted and they're treated like, you know, responsible adults, whereas football fans are kind of treated like kids, treated like dirt. But, I mean, we've seen enough history. Just look at events that have played out. Look at situations that happen. Rugby, there is very little negative stuff from a fan standpoint that goes on. There's very little altercations or anything like that. We've seen in football that football fans do not need alcohol to cause trouble, start fights. So I mean, it's the fans' own fault. It's not all the fans, but it's... I wouldn't even say it's the majority of fans, but it's not like a small minority, you know, it's a minority, but it's a decent-sized minority where, could you imagine some of these games if there was alcohol involved, like the old Firm games when you had like a decent-sized away support? Could you imagine if you had like Celtic Park and you've got 60,000 people inside drinking, and you've got Rangers fans and Celtic fans and everybody in the arena and everyone in the stadium's pissed? It would cause for safety concerns, so... I can see why alcohol is not allowed at football, and to be honest, I don't think that is going to be allowed anytime soon. But this is what Smith said about the alcohol. He said, quote, "There are other areas we could look to license within the ground. We own 22 acres here. We are working with a lawyer and a company at the moment. Could we license the concourses because they don't look onto the pitch? Could they have a beer where they get their pie and then go and sit in the stand? These are things we are looking at. It's all about the fan engagement and trying to make that one city, one club, one community come to life." End of quote. So he's talking about the possibility of having alcohol available at the ground, but you have to consume it in certain areas, certain locations of the stadium, and you wouldn't necessarily be able to take it into the stands with you because that would be classifying as watching the game, whereas he believes that potentially if you're drinking alcohol in an area of the stadium where you don't have a viewing of the pitch, then technically it's not like you're drinking watching a football game. I don't know if that works. Doesn't that mean that at half time you could just go and consume like 10 pints in the in the 15-minute break and then come out? I don't know if that's going to work or not. It's a bit optimistic, but you know, fair play for St Johnstone for trying new things. So we'll have to wait and see. Will they get the turnout? Will they get the home fans coming in here to help prevent them from needing to give away that extra stand? I mean, I guess St Johnstone have put the ball in the court of the St Johnstone fans, and they've basically told them, look, if you don't want this to happen, then all you need to do is turn up. But the problem is, the St Johnstone fans have said that they do not like the games against the Old Firm, and the Old Firm, I believe, already get 2 stands at McDermott Park. I think I'm right in saying that. So it's unlikely that St Johnstone fans are going to turn up because they already don't want to go there. So if they're not going there, then it doesn't really make a difference to them, I guess, whether Celtic and Rangers get 2 or 3 stands. So I don't think much is going to change, and I would assume that probably they will give that third extra stand to those clubs, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, guys, that's it. Let us know your thoughts down below. What do you think of teams giving out free stands to the away fans? Like, I know Livingston have been doing it. They've done it when they were in the top flight for a very long time. People always point to the financial aspect. I mean, I get that, but I mean, you're trying to make your home ground a fortress, and can you really do that when you've got 75% of the people inside, at least, away fans? I don't think so. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think down below, and yeah, catch you in the next one. Beanfog Football. Thanks for watching, and peace.